All right, so welcome back, y'all. Today's video is gonna be about, let's see what today's video is gonna be about. I wrote down the title, I just don't want to mess it up the way I said it. Okay, today we're gonna talk about being stressed and how it can lead to losing faith, but what we need to do instead of losing faith. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't need to lose faith. That's the worst thing we can do. Because when we lose faith, that lets the enemy know that they can walk through the door that we just opened. That's not what we want. It's not what we want. All right. Last week, we talked about what it means to be a Christian. Now we're going to talk about going through stress as a Christian. Because we are saved, I just feel like the enemy hits 10 times harder because he knows what we're capable of and doesn't want us to achieve that greatness because he's very salty. Okay, to my notes. As humans, I know it's hard to trust others, especially when, we're used to doing things on our own, or when something's too difficult, you be like, nah, I got it, I'm gonna do it. Because, if somebody else does it, it's gonna get messed up, or it won't get done, or it's not gonna get done the right way. So we just take all of the stress and put it upon ourselves because we think, we're gonna do it right. Because we trust ourselves more than anybody else because we feel like, that saying is, if you want it done right, do it yourself. Like that. That's how I feel about some things too. Because I'm just like, growing up, when you do like a school project or something, and you have people in the group and they're just not doing it right, so you're just like, you know what, I got it, I'm gonna do it. I've done that before too. Just do it yourself because you want it done right. But have you ever been stressed about something real big, like a test that's coming up, getting a job, getting a car, or even simply you lose something, say like you lose earrings or something like that. You're stressed because you just can't find it. But what we all need to know is that God is bigger than any of those problems that we have. He can do anything. He created the universe, like when you look outside but anyways, God is bigger than any of those situations that we've had, like that man created the universe, like the clouds, the stars, the planets, the trees, the grass, like he created you. So why can't he give you peace? When you have peace and not stress, you're able to think more clearly. Because I know when I'm stressed, I'm just like, okay, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do that. And I stress myself out even more because I'm trying to cram everything into one day. And I can't think. And that stresses me out. Because then I'm like, okay, I was gonna do this, and I forgot what to do. Like I lose my train of thought from being so stressed. And then, then you just get angry, and that just leads like to aggravation, and then you end up snapping at people. And sometimes when we are stressed, we can start to lose our faith in God. We'd be like, God, why aren't you helping me? Or why am I stressed? Or why aren't you doing anything? Or why is this taking so long? We just keep asking why. But what we don't realize is God, his timing is perfect. Like everything just falls into place when he has control. And that's why we need to give him all of our worries and all of our problems, because when we give it to him, he knows what to do with it. Like, that's God, man. He knows what to do with it. And it amazes me sometimes. I just sit here, I'd be thinking about it. I'm like, he's that cool. Like, that's the man. Like, he can do anything he wants, Now, being angry isn't a sin, but it can lead to sin. And in the Bible, it does say to be angry and not sin. In the Bible, it also says to not let the sun go down while you're angry. And, you know, and that makes a lot of sense. Like, because who wants to be mad all the time, all day, all night? Like, who wants to go to bed mad? Nobody. Don't nobody want to go to bed mad. But the thing about anger is that it doesn't bring you life. Anger doesn't do anything good for you. If anything, anger leads you to sin and causes you to sin against other people. You know what I'm saying? And my youth pastor, Pastor Will, he said, you know, whatever causes your anger or your stress or your hurt, he says that your healing should happen in the same day you got hurt. Like, it should be in the same day. Yes, your feelings got hurt, or, you know, somebody did you wrong or something happened, but you should heal that same day. Like, dwelling on those feelings isn't good for your heart, nor your mind, or your spirit, or your soul. You can fall into depression and stuff like that when you just let it eat at your ear, you know. Not good, because I've done that before. Not good. I know stress and anger is something a lot of us deal with on the daily. I can vouch. I've been working on my anger. Oh, y'all, I can show y'all some testimonies at the end of this, because let me tell you how good God is. Or I can tell you now. Yeah, I'm going to tell you now. So, how about, I've been asking God to help me with my anger, right? Because when I get mad, I just lash out. I just, you know, you wouldn't think, oh, Bonnie's nice. But look, I get angry too, you know. But, you know, it says, be angry, do not sin, you know. And I don't like being angry. It just makes me mad. And I'd be walking around with a face that's just like, don't nobody want to look like that all the time, you know. Just be like, a cute little smile or whatever. You know, don't nobody want to be angry all the time. So I'm just like, you know, help me with my anger. And y'all, when I prayed that prayer, the next day, anything that would make me mad happened. Like, back to back to back to back. I was at work. I couldn't even go into detail because I need my job. But look, I was at work. Let me tell you, I just get certain things that make you very mad at work, and it was just happening back to back to back to back. I almost got hit by a car at work. I was just like, you know, like stuff like that. Like, it was just horrible. And then that same day, I was going to church, right? No, it was the next day. The next day I went to church. I pulled up behind a truck, and I didn't know there was a hitch on the back of it. It was a big old hitch. I couldn't see it because it was like the same color as the truck. So anyways, I thought I hit the brakes in my car, but in actuality, I hit the hitch, and a dent was in my car. Like, right up under the infinity sign, bruh. It was a fat dent in my car. It was horrible. And I was already mad that day. I was just angry for no reason. So I went into church. I plopped down on the chair, just like this. I was just mad. And then so during the service, Pastor Will was talking about forgiveness and stuff. And he was like, our healing should be in the same day that we get hurt. And he was like, you know, remember the hurt, but forget the pain. And Pastor Will was talking about how Jesus got, you know, the little holes in his hands, but he's not in pain no more, but he still has the scar. And then so I was crying all through service and stuff, you know, crying, praying, all that good stuff. And then so I go outside to my car, and the dent is gone. There's no dent in my car, and the mark of the hitch is still there. The hurt was still there on the car, but the pain was gone. Look at God. I'm telling y'all, can't nobody tell me God ain't real. I don't care. And then the other day at work, there's this printer that don't work, right? It doesn't work. So you try to put the little thing in there to check, and it doesn't go at all. Like, it just sits there. And I totally forgot that printer didn't work. So a week or so ago, I was checking out this lady. She had a rebate check for some formula. And I tried to put it in there, and I was like, why is it not working? You know, I was putting the numbers back in there and stuff. And then I wanted to move registers, but we were so busy, I couldn't do so. So I was just like, there's nothing I can do. And I didn't want to tell her I can't take her check, you know, because, like, you know, baby formula is expensive. So I sat there, and I put my hand on that printer, and I prayed over the printer. I did. Right in front, right there. Beep, beep. I prayed over the printer. I re-entered in the number of the amount of money that's on that check. I put the check in the printer, and the printer turned on, took the check, and processed it. I was just like, and she was like, did it take it? I was like, yeah, it took it. I was like, what? That was so crazy. All right, so back to my story. I just want to share that with y'all. 2 testimonies, which is really cool because I have not had anything happen like that to me before. Either of those situations. Like, this is the first thing, like, hands-on that's ever happened. And I think that's just so cool and awesome. So, you know, we all deal with anger and stress, you know, some point of the time or day. Or it may be all the time, you know, like how I was a few weeks ago. I was just angry and angry and angry. But I'm getting better. Like, I haven't been angry in a minute because I just let everything go now. Let go, let God, literally. But I'm gonna try to give some advice and, you know, some Bible verses to help with the situation. But even though you're just reading it, when you apply it to your life, it means so much more. And then when you take it into action, it just does wonders for you, for real. It's so easy to stress, and it's so easy to get angry. It's just so easy, you know, which makes it hard, you know. You try to fix it yourself, but you just can't fix it yourself. And when you try to fix it yourself, you get more stressed because you really, in reality, we cannot control everything. And that's when you have to learn to give it to God, when you just cannot control it. Especially your feelings. You know, you can give your feelings to God too. I've done that plenty of times. Just let him have it, and then I just leave me at peace because, you know, I don't want that attached to me and stuff like that. And so I'm gonna give you some verses, and that'll help you trust him more, you know, and to know that he's bigger than any situation that you're going through. Because like I said before, that man created the earth and the heavens and the universe. Like, there's nothing he can't do. There's nothing he can't do. So why don't you think he can help you? You know what I'm saying? Like, if he can do all of that, he can give you peace. Isaiah 26:3-4. It says, you will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. They're talking about the Lord, you know. That's in Isaiah. Isaiah is such a good book. Such a good book. And he's saying that the Lord will keep those who trust in him at peace. As long as you allow it. Because them trusting him is allowing him to give them peace. If that makes sense. And it says, trust in the Lord forever, and the Lord himself is the rock eternal. He will always be there. Like, he never leaves by our side. You know, in the last video I said, it may seem like he's not beside us, but the truth is we're not beside him. He's always there when we need him. He's always there when we call. He's always on time. I really got to be in class. It's going to be a quick class. I'll be right back, y'all. I'll be right back. I ain't trying to be late. Alright, y'all. I'm back. Okay, so what, like I was saying before, is that when I say when you trust in him, he will give you peace, that does not automatically mean just because you are saved, you won't ever go through anything stressful. Now, it does say that, you know, being Christian, life on earth is not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy at all, you know. But because we have God, it makes it easier to overcome what we do go through. So if you are going through a stressful situation and you go to God about it, then he can give you peace about it. It's not like you automatically don't go through anything stressful, because if that was the case, we wouldn't be able to help anybody go through anything, you know what I'm saying? We'll just be like, to my next point. All right, so let me tell you about this time I had a super stressful situation. It was back in 2020 in October-ish, end of September, beginning of October. How long did it last? I don't think it went into November. I don't think it did. I think it just kind of lasted through It was really bad in the middle of October. It was awful. But I was super stressed. I was stressing and went into depression. It was awful. And I was a new Christian at this time, you know. And I didn't know a lot about the enemy or the devil. I knew who he was, and you know, he was mean and wanted to make your life suck and stuff like that. Like, I knew that, but I didn't know how to fight him then. I didn't know what to do. And he knew I knew that. So it was easy for him to attack me, if that makes sense. And, you know, while I was going through distress and depression, you know, I wasn't finding joy in anything that I used to love to do. Like in band, I loved band. I love practicing. I love playing on the field. And in my head, I would be at school and I'd be like, I want to quit. I don't want to do this. And I would talk out loud and be like, I'm finna quit. Or I'm not doing this today. Or I don't want to do this. Like, I would say stuff like that and just be in such a horrible mood. It was disgusting. And, you know, I stayed crying all the time. I was always stressed out, upset, just unhealthy emotions, you know. But I was stressed about the ACT, and you know, everybody's trying to get a high score. Everybody's getting 21s and 27s and 25s and 26s. They're all getting those numbers. And then guess what, y'all? When you know how you do, like, you take the ACT in 11th grade for free, they lost my whole entire test. So I was just like, wow. So I had to take my test again my senior year and had to pay money for it because the system lost my test. They was like, are you sure that you took it? And I was like, yes, I came to school and got Chick-fil-A biscuits and took my test, and they completely lost it. And I was not sick that day, so no telling what I would have made. No telling. But anyways, I was stressed out because of the ACT, and I was like, I'm not gonna get into college because I'm stupid and they're not gonna let me in. I thought I wasn't gonna get a car. I thought I wasn't gonna get a job, and I was like job depressed because I was just sitting around the house not doing anything, you know. And I was just like, I feel like a bum because I'm not going to work, I'm not making no money, I'm not doing anything for myself. And at the time, my dog, he died, and I was just like, he died in August, but I didn't come to terms with it until October. Like, it didn't hit me until October, you know, because I mean, yeah, the day he died, I was crying the whole entire day. You know, I was sad. But, like, after that, I tried to brush it off to the side, you know, but, like, I'm not going to let that bother me. But it came and bothered me in October, and it was the worst. I would be crying in class. It was, man, you can ask Taylor. It was awful. I'd just be crying all the time. And then, being in senior year is so stressful because you got, you know, everybody's getting accepted into colleges, and they're getting cars, and they have a job, you know, doing things for themselves. And I had nothing. I was nothing. I mean, I drove my dad's 1999 Kia, but it wasn't mine, you know. I didn't pay for it or anything, you know. I didn't even put gas in it because I didn't even drive it for real. I only drove on Fridays to school. That's it. That's the only time I drove the car, was on Fridays. And then yeah, just a bad time for me. But, you know, and then I was letting all that weigh down on me, and I wasn't telling anybody about it. Well, I did tell my one friend about it. Yeah, he's the only person I really talked to at that time, so he would try to make me feel better or whatever. But I would just be sitting there just crying in class, head on the desk, everything. Yeah, I was still new in the faith, you know, so I didn't really know how to deal with the situation because I've never had it happen to me before. And like I said, the enemy knew what was going on, and he knew how to attack me because that's where I was weakest at, which was not necessarily my faith, but my strength in fighting back against the enemy. He knew I did not know how to do that. And like, I had other people pray for me because at the time I felt so ashamed. I couldn't even pray for myself. Like, I would start to pray and I would give up. I would try and I couldn't get any words out. And then that made me start crying more. Like, I was up at 3 a.m. just woke up out of my sleep, just crying. I don't know what was going on, man. It was something. you know. And then I forgot when, but you know, sometime later I did pray. I got to where I could pray over myself again, and I talked to my dad about it, and he was just like, there's no reason to be stressing out, you know, everything's gonna fall into place and everything's gonna be okay, you know, saying that I should have told him about this before I let it get this bad, you know what I'm saying, which is true. But you know, so I was like, oh, okay, you know. And then so I left, not necessarily left the situation alone, but I did calm down from it. And then he told me if I did good on my ACT that I can get a job. And then so I took the ACT, you know, like I told you in my 12th grade year, I had to pay for it that time because they lost my papers. But so I ended up making an 18 on it, and I was still kind of stressed out about it because to get into Troy University, a bare minimum you need is 18, and that's what I made, an 18. And so I was still kind of stressed out about that because I was like, I just barely made it in. And I hadn't gotten an acceptance letter, you know, the girl was going through it. And then so I ended up going to Wallace, you know, I'm at Wallace. I also applied to Jacksonville State University, and I did get accepted into there with a $5,000 scholarship, but I was like, this was like, I got accepted in like January, I think. And I was just like, that's so far away, you know, I don't want to be that far away. And I know that because I was still so early in the faith that I would be easily influenced by the wrong people. I was like, I can't go that far because I know if I go, I'm going to do what they urge me to do. Hey, Bonnie, just do this or just do that. I'm the type of person that's going to be like, okay, you know, like, so I was like, no, can't go. So I saved myself in that situation. I was like, I cannot go to Jacksonville, you know. And that's the same thing that happened with Troy. I was like, I can't go there. I was like, I need to stay home. So we finally figured out that I need to go to Wallace instead because I did not feel comfortable going to Troy or Jacksonville State just because I know how I am and how other people can be. And I was just like, just don't even put myself in that situation, you know what I'm saying? Stop the sin before it even starts. And then I got a job that December, I got a job at Winn-Dixie. And then after I got a job at Winn-Dixie, my dad texted me talking about Mr. Marvin found you a car. And I was like, what? And then so I go look at the car, and it's this one, of course, you know. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I loved it. It was like love at first sight. It was so cool. And then so I've never heard of an Infiniti before. I didn't know what it was, or what kind of car it was, or what kind of reputation that it had, you know. I was just like, oh, okay, the car looks nice. And then when I got to school, everybody was like, oh my gosh, Infiniti. I was like, what? Look at God blessing me the way he did. Like, what? Had to be from God. I don't care what nobody say. But, you know, and then after I got my car, I got accepted into Wallace. And here I am, second semester, you know. Doing good. Which is great, thank God, you know what I'm saying? And you know, and that black car, my dad's black car, the little Kia Sophia, you know, it had some things wrong with it. It did. And I never complained about that car or had a bad attitude towards that car, you know, because I was even grateful to even be able to drive to work when I needed to, or to drive to school when I needed to, because I got hired in December, so I drove my dad's car from December to the end of January. And I drove it before, you know, 11th grade, I drove it on Fridays too. But in 12th grade is when I really drove it every Friday. So, you know, I spent a lot of time with that car, and I was very grateful for the one that God did give me, which is this one right here. And then if you were talking about like a small situation, I seen this guy on TikTok. He was like, he went to the barber shop and he had his AirPods in, right? But he dropped one on the floor, and he didn't know it until he had got home a few days later, and looked into the thing, and the AirPod was gone. And he was asking around, you know, the people say it's AirPod or whatever, and he was just like, they was like, no. And he was like, it's okay, man, you know, I'm not going to, because he's a Christian. He was like, I'm not going to stress about it, you know, God got it, and stuff like that. He immediately didn't stress about it at all. He immediately didn't worry about it at all, you know. And then so he just went back to the barbershop, and he was like, hey man, it was like a week later, and he was like, hey man, what? Oh my gosh, I just had something happen. I'll let y'all know. It was like a week later, and he was just like, hey, has anybody seen my AirPod, you know? And then they was like, yeah, man, we found it. We thought somebody might come back for it. So boom, he didn't worry, and he got his AirPod back. So let me tell y'all what just happened. So I have braids in. Y'all know I have braids in. And I use this hair tie. It's really a headband. It's really a headband, you know? So I was doing my hair. I was redoing my hair, right? And I was using this to, you know, tie it up or whatever. And then when I got done, I went to work. I went to put my hair up, and this was gone. I didn't know where it was at. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know where it's at. And then I remember that video, and I was like, don't stress. Don't worry about it. It'll come back, you know? And immediately, I just didn't stress about it, you know? And this is like the last one I had, and I use it a lot. I use it for my puff. And I just got in a regular rubber. No, I got a drawstring up there right now, because this was lost, you know? So I was using that. And I was like, I'm not going to stress about it or anything. And about a week later, let me see. Yeah, about a week and a half later, because I just found this a few days ago. A week and a half later, I'm chasing my dog throughout the house because she acting funny, you know, trying to run away from me and stuff. You know how you be playing with your dog. And then so I look in her toy box, and it's sitting right there. Didn't worry about it, didn't stress about it, and it was right there. So it really doesn't matter, big or small, whatever situation you are going through, God can get you through it. The same God that got the Israelites from Egypt, the same God that walked on water, will give you peace and help you get through your situation, because that's just what he does. Like, he's here for us, and no matter what we're going through, he will help us, you know. Even if you go back to an addiction that you used to have, you know, he will help you get through it. He'll never be mad at you or make you feel bad for making a mistake. He's here to help us get through our mistakes. You know, he's never gonna make you feel horrible about something. And if you ever do feel horrible about something, that's the devil or the enemy trying to condemn you and make it feel like you're not good enough or that you can't do anything right. Wow, look at me preaching to myself, because I always say to myself, I guess I can't do anything right, you know, but that's not me. You know, the enemy is trying to feed that into my brain, you know, but that's not true. And Jeremiah 29:11 says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, but to give you a future and a hope. So, you know, just as long as we keep God first, as long as we trust in him, and, you know, keep our faith in him 100%. It don't even gotta be 100%. All you need is a faith of a mustard seed. As long as you got this much faith, God can move mountains for you. So, you know, never be scared to ask God or to be vulnerable with him. You know, let him know how you're feeling or what you're going through. I mean, yes, he knows it, but when you confess it to him, he knows he knows that you want help from him. You know, like, he knows that your heart is set on him because you know you can trust him. There's a Bible verse that says to not worry about tomorrow because tomorrow will worry about itself. And which makes sense, because why worry about tomorrow when you haven't even gotten through today? And when you worry about the future, whatever you needed to get done today will get crammed or won't get done properly or won't get done at all. So what I did was make a to-do list. I downloaded the app, and, you know, I'll wake up in the morning and write down things I need to get done that day. And you can literally, when you just do it, don't procrastinate and you don't get lazy, you just get it done. Boom, 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 boom. And the stress just goes away. It's gone. And I love it. So, you know, wake up, talk to God, you know, thank him for another day, of course, and then talk to him throughout your day, do a little to-do list, you know, spend time with him. Let me tell y'all, I've got so much done the other day that I've never gotten done before. I woke up, right? I got to study before I went to school. Took a test, came home, did my hair, ate breakfast, went back to school, went to the gym to get a membership, went and got gas, went home, folded clothes, washed and dried clothes, spent an hour with God, then went to my mom's, and then after that, I studied, ate, took a shower, and went to bed before 12. I went to bed at 10 p.m. I have not went to bed on a school night at 10 p.m. since high school. Like, since high school, I have not went to bed since before 10 p.m. And I did it the other night. Well, I went to bed at 10, but still. Like, when you spend your time with him and you're just at peace, you can get so much done. And it's amazing, and I love it. But you know, I'm gonna close this video out because this is literally the longest video I've ever done. You know, that's not why I'm closing it, but you know, I'm just saying. But you know, I hope this really helped, you know, with stressful situations, and how no matter how big or small the situation is, God will get you through it. I mean, like, there's so many stories in the Bible that are true. Everything in the Bible is true. But there's so many stories in the Bible that can help you out with stressful situations, because the stories in there are much bigger than what we go through, and he helped them through every single situation. So there's nothing he can't do or can't handle. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I will try to post again next week. I've never done 2 videos in a row before like this, you know, because I'm telling y'all, I'm getting my stuff right, and I'm stopped being lazy and procrastinating, because that's what eats me up every time. Anytime I'm so lazy or I procrastinate, I don't get nothing done. And that's why I hadn't made a video since before the last one in 4 months. Procrastination. But I'm not gonna do that no more. So I hope y'all have a great day. You know, if you wake up with a positive attitude, like if you wake up and be like, today's gonna be a good day, and listen to some bomb gospel music before you get anywhere, your day will be amazing. You might have some things that are going, you know, that go on or whatever, but it won't phase you. I promise. I promise. God has a different type of happiness, and it's amazing. All right, y'all. I guess I'm gonna let y'all go now. Now, thank you for watching, and be on the lookout for the next video. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, or any suggestions about anything. You know, just let me know what you like to see next, what you like to hear about. You know, I just kind of put out whatever I feel needs to get spoken on the most, you know. But if you have anything you really need to learn about, or want to know about, or need help with, just let me know, and I'll make a video about it, because I love to do these. I love it. Alrighty, I'll see y'all next time.